Have you finished your myofunctional therapy training but still don't know how to start your business? Are you tired of waiting for clients, stuck in a job that's become your safety net, or letting perfectionism and fear keep you from taking action? I totally get it, my friend, because I've been there. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Carmen, a recovering dental hygienist who left burnout and back pain behind to build $1 million myofunctional therapy practice. But when I started, I had no idea how to get clients or run a business. Nobody taught that part in my program, so I had to figure it out one simple strategy, system, and step at a time, and now I teach others to do the same. If you're ready to turn your training into a profitable, freedom-filled business with clear systems, steady clients, and predictable income, then I invite you to join us inside the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist Facebook community. You'll get tactical tools, real-life strategies, workshops, and support to help you stop overthinking and start growing with confidence. Wherever you're listening, find the link and join us today. Now, back to the show. Are you a dental hygienist who thinks that it's all or nothing when it comes to your dental hygiene career? Are you interested in options that allow you to work less, earn more, make a bigger impact, and use the skills that you already have as a dental hygienist without starting over or going back to school? If so, my friend, you are in the right place. Buckle up. This episode just might make today your lucky day. If you're a burned out, bored dental hygienist who knows that you can't do this forever, or you've already taken myofunctional therapy training but feel stuck on how to actually start, grow, or simplify your business, welcome, my friend. You're in the right place. I'm Carmen, a dental hygienist who once sat exactly where you are, overworked, physically tired, mentally done, knowing that there had to be more, and wanting the fastest, simplest, most organized path forward with someone holding my hand along the way. This podcast is for women who don't want more information. They want transformation. They want clarity, consistent clients, predictable income without building a business that takes over their life. They also want support while they do it. So if you're ready to stop spinning, start moving, and finally make sense of what comes next, grab your coffee and your courage, my friend. Let's build a business that works for your life, not one that runs it, so that you can build a life that you're genuinely bonkers about. Because that's my superpower. Well, hello, friends, and welcome back to the episode. Before I dive in and we start talking about our exciting topic today, a little bit of real life update. I am currently not in my podcasting studio, so if it sounds a little bit wonkier than normal, that's why. My husband and I flew out to Colorado last week so that we could babysit our grandbabies while my daughter and son-in-law went on their trip for his 40th birthday. So we are here doing that. And even though the kiddos are at school today, I have work to do. And Monday is podcasting and marketing day. So here we are. Hopefully, everything goes well. Also, fun thing that my daughter did before she went on vacation is she also got a puppy. And the little black lab cutie is a lot of fun, but also she keeps seeing her own reflection in the glass. So hopefully I don't have to do too much editing here when she is barking. So we are just going to roll with it. All right. So my goal with this episode is to help you see how simple it is to turn your dental hygiene skills into a thriving myofunctional therapy business. And, when I was thinking about topics, one of the reasons that I thought that this conversation would be helpful is that I am getting the opportunity to meet so many amazing women who have had no idea that myofunctional therapy was even a thing. Now, luckily, many of you are learning about myofunctional therapy at a conference or a dental convention or some sort of continuing ed, which that is helping to get the word out there, which is good because there is so much need out there for myofunctional therapists, and we need all of you here in the field. Okay. So that really makes me happy that you're finding out about myo. Um, and that's just one of the ways. Now, the other way that people are finding out about the world of myofunctional therapy is through the late night desperation, Googling with things like, what else can I do with my dental hygiene skills? And can dental hygienists work from home? Which is a silly search, but I know that you guys are searching that because the statistics tell me that. So women are searching for these type of answers, and they are usually the ones who, like me, are totally over hygiene. Okay, they don't want to do it anymore, but they also don't want to live in a van down by the river. Okay, so they have responsibilities, they have bills to pay, but also, much like I felt, they can't imagine doing it forever. So that's what we are going to be talking about today is the idea of using your dental hygiene skills to grow a thriving myofunctional therapy business at a pace that works for you. So let's just get into it. That's what I call the side hustle. So, what do I mean when I say side hustle? Okay, so this is essentially doing parallel things. You're still working in dental hygiene while taking your clinical training in myofunctional therapy and starting your business. So, in this situation, visualize you're driving a car and you're in control of, the gas and the brake. Okay, so building a side hustle, really, that just is what it means. Okay, or that's how I use the phrase. So, let's get tactical so you can have so you can follow some easy steps. Okay, so the first thing when it comes to turning the skills that you already have into a thriving myofunctional therapy business, well, you have to start somewhere. And so the first place that I want you to start is by determining what does your future self want. Okay, that is going to dictate how fast or how slow you do things. So let's look at my situation. So my future self needed out of dental hygiene as fast as possible. So I was a woman on the move. Okay, when I was getting into the field, there wasn't really anything that was geared towards the dental hygienist who wanted to move fast. Basically, there was just, get your myofunctional therapy training. So I was the one who had to put a little bit of spank on it, if you get my drift. So while I was taking my training, I also was already doing all the Googling, doing all the things to figure out how to start my business. Now, the nice thing is you don't necessarily have to do that anymore because that is precisely what I have inside the Ditch Hygiene Academy. And that's also why it's named the Ditch Hygiene Academy. It is designed to take you from A to Z the fastest. And the reason that course is set up the way it is because it is everything that I had to do to go from, just learning myofunctional therapy, building that parallel thing of like learning clinical, building a business, and turning it into a six-figure business. So that is the nice thing that option exists now. So I want you to think about your future self. Okay. Now I coach a couple different types of women when it comes to this. Like, what do you want to do with the information? Okay. What do you want to do with the clinical training? So a lot of you guys are just like me. You are either already injured and out of hygiene, or you just know that you have to find a way out. Okay, so a lot of you guys are like me. Some of you are just thinking down the road. So I meet a lot of women who aren't necessarily just, they haven't fallen out of love with dental hygiene. um, they are just thinking that down the road they might need more money for retirement, or that their body, they're not ready to leave yet, but they don't think their body's going to get them to age 65 or 67, whatever. Okay. So these ladies are planning ahead, and the side hustle is really going to be nice for them because they're not like me and in a hurry. Okay, so they're gonna not have that anxiety and that angst to just get it done. And then really the third type are the women who really aren't planning to leave dental hygiene, but they want to have a bigger impact for their patients. Okay, so the really cool thing with this is that a lot of dental practices are actually starting to have in-house myofunctional therapy, which is amazing because people are going to get helped. Now, it's not a conversation that we're going to have in this episode, but if you're going to be starting your side hustle and doing it in the dental practice, I still encourage you to build your own thing, to like have your own business within that, and refer to yourself. And the reason is, again, I'm not going to get into it in this episode, but I want you to not build a business on rented land. So yes, if your boss wants to have somebody in house, that's amazing. I can help you get that all set up, but I would encourage you to have it separate from the dental business, if you will. Okay, so that was step number one. Like, what does future you want? Okay, are you wanting to get out of hygiene yesterday? Are you just thinking down the road? Or you'd like to, 10 years from now, you'd like to travel more and, have some more geographic freedom, that kind of stuff? Or are you just wanting to make a bigger impact for your patients and you have no interest in actually not doing hygiene? Okay. So then step number two, once you know that, then you need to figure out how you're going to get your training. Okay. So what do you want? Um, this, when I ask you this, I think it's important that you learn from somebody who has accomplished what you are trying to do. Okay. And so when I meet you amazing women in our unstuck calls, that's one of the first things I will ask you. Well, what do you want to accomplish? Okay. For example, if you want a successful online practice, then I happen to have a real strong opinion that you should learn from somebody who has done that. Okay. What does success mean to you? Okay. And then make sure that that person has done that. Because, total side note, but there's a lot of training programs out there that haven't experienced the success that you're looking for. And maybe you want to take that into consideration. Okay. So, the next thing, for example, if you want to have a brick and mortar practice, then I would encourage you to seek out somebody who has actually done that, because they're going to be helping you, not just teaching you vague things that you can do or throw all the spaghetti at the wall, but they can probably help you with the important things like owning a physical business, how to market that business locally, how to get referrals to that business. So, like in my situation, I have grown a multi-million dollar online practice. I never had a brick and mortar store. Yes, I have helped hundreds of students, and I also know all about the business stuff. So I can probably help you with that pretty good. But if you found Susie Q, who teaches that exact thing and she knows the brick and mortar business, man, I would be going and learning from her. Okay. So that was step number two, figuring out how you're going to get trained. Okay. Now, number three. So you're doing your training. Okay. Now it's time to start working on the business stuff. So I like to teach a concept of 4 seasons of business. Now, this comes from a business mentor of mine, and she teaches it just a little bit different. She teaches just 3 seasons of business. I like to teach 4. So 4 seasons of business, you have setup, planning, building, and scaling or evolving. Okay. So when you start your business, you're going to begin in the setup season, okay? So this is going to be your clinical training. And I will tell you this, that if you are already trained, then you have to be confident in these skills, okay? So some of you guys, you're listening to this podcast and you're already trained. Beautiful. You're a step ahead. But if you're not confident in those skills or you don't know how to apply them, you need to get in a different training, okay? So in the setup season, you're going to have your clinical training and you're going to have your business setup. That's going to be setting up legal, that's going to be setting up business accounts, your insure, getting your insurance, um, setting up your Stripe, okay? So everything that gets you ready to be able to take money and to do business. Okay, once you get that done, once you have that set up, then you get to move into planning season. You don't move into planning season until you're done with setup season, okay? Planning season, it is the most important step to having a thriving business. And if this is news to you, don't worry. This is all stuff that I teach you in my programs, but if you're doing this DIY, I'm spilling all the tea here for you, okay? So, in this season, in your planning season, you are nailing your who. Okay, that means you know exactly, you're niching in, you know exactly who you are talking to. And my friend, this is not everybody with a purse and a pulse, okay? So you're nailing your who, you're setting your prices, and you are creating your irresistible offer. Over here, we call that your unique myofunctional experience, okay? And then once you know that, then you will work on your messaging and your branding in regards to your who. Your branding and your messaging is going to speak to that person. If you are working with middle-aged women who are exhausted and they don't sleep well, your messaging isn't going to be to moms, okay? Or it's not going to be referencing children. And then you are also going to be determining which marketing avenue is right for you. You're going to gain a deep understanding of why you're marketing, okay? And you want to do that beyond just saying, "Hey, I want to have a six-figure business." You need to determine more, like, why am I doing this, okay? And then you're going to be figuring out how to market in a way that follows the problem solution format, okay? And by that meaning somebody is saying, "Hey, I have this problem. I am a middle-aged woman and I'm tired, I'm not sleeping well." And then, like, the solution would be however you offer that solution, which would be your unique myofunctional experience, okay? And then from there, you will develop a marketing plan. Fun stuff. So once you know who you will be marketing to and what you're going to be selling, and you have your marketing plan, then you now get to move into the building season, which is where you will focus on growing your business and creating consistent revenue for yourself. Now, I do want to tell you this, when I work with my students or when I have somebody come into my business coaching program, my Grow program, that's the first question. Like, this is a very cut and dry thing. You don't always, obviously you don't always stay in this season, and you don't always grow linearly. Sometimes you will you'll grow and then you'll go back to planning, okay? But this is a question that I ask my clients, like, okay, you are in this season. If you're going into the building season, that means you already have confidence in your clinical training. That means you already have your business set up, your legal set up, your bank accounts opened, you've got insurance, you have third party processor like Stripe to get paid. You've got that done. Okay, so it's very cut and dry about, yes, I have this done. No, I don't have this done. Okay, so in the building season, we are focusing on growing. Quick pause, my friend. It is such an exciting time over here at the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist headquarters as we are eyebrows deep in the rebrand, bringing everything that we teach and offer under one brand umbrella, under one roof, if you will. So you might be listening and thinking, wow, this episode is just for me, but I'm not sure what my next step is. So right now, your next best step, the best place to start is to book an unstuck session with me. You and I will start this important work together the very first time that we meet. We're going to meet on Zoom and we will get clear on where you're at, what's keeping you stuck, and map your smartest next step so that you're not trying to figure out what you should do, or you're not trying to duct tape everything together. So if you're ready for clarity and momentum, book your Get Unstuck session using the link wherever you're listening to this podcast. Now, let's get back to today's episode. And you're going to work in 4 areas of business. Number 1, you probably guessed it, one of my favorites, marketing. And this really, if you're less than $1 million practice, this is where 90% of your efforts are going, okay? There's lots of different marketing avenues. You're going to be working on marketing, you're going to be working on sales. And so that's very simple, my friend. You're finding your who and you're offering solutions to their pain points. They have raised their hand and said, hey, I need help with this. And you are going to say, hey, I can help you with that. Okay. The third area is going to be client fulfillment. So once you know who your who is and you sell to them, then you're going to fulfill on their therapy. And then the last area that you're going to be working is operations. So this is when you're setting up your systems, your operating procedures, you're creating routines, you're using technology to automate your business and stuff. So my business is fully automated. And so, like, for example, when somebody books an exam with me, I don't lift a finger at all until 10 to 15 minutes before their appointment. So the scheduling is automated, the payment, all of that stuff. When I have clients who are on a payment plan, which isn't very many, but I do have a few, their payment reminders, their payment plan, all of that stuff, they automatically, pay for that every month. All of that stuff is automated. And that is what helps me be able to spend 90% of my time and effort in marketing, because I don't want to just be playing office. I want to be making money and making an impact and growing my business. So that's why automation is important. So that's your building season, okay? 4 areas of business: marketing, sales, client fulfillment, and operations. Now, your last season is going to be scaling or evolving your practice. And I'm not going to go into that here because this audience listening to this podcast is predominantly a beginner population. But the evolution season is when you're earning consistent income. You know what it takes to get the right amount of clients that you need. You're delivering amazing results to a lot of clients, and you're ready to consider some other options, like maybe hiring an associate. So I do have an associate who sees a lot of my clients. You might be interested in doing a group program or developing some sort of a digital offer and earning some passive income, or maybe even just simply raising your prices and working with less people to make the same amount of money. So a lot of people never really think about that, but I would rather work with one $5,000 or $7,000 client rather than 5 or 7 $1,000 clients. So that's part of the evolution of my practice, is that I actually don't necessarily want to make a ton more money. I just work a lot less. And those clients that I do see one-on-one, they, my prices are higher. So I don't think that you need to worry about this season of your business until you are well into your 6 figures, okay? And it's going to take that long for you to actually know what works and what doesn't work for your business, okay? All right. So that was a lot. now you know how you can create your own side hustle that you are in control of. Okay, now let's talk about some homework. First of all, if you're untrained or you're not confident in your training, you need to start researching that. Okay, shameless plug, but the Ditch Hygiene Academy is a great option. You get to decide um, a couple things. You get to decide how much you spend and how long it takes you to get where you're going, which is that profitable myofunctional therapy business, and how much support you want. Okay, you can have no support by my team. You can totally DIY it, but yet still have access to all of my knowledge and my proprietary information, all of that stuff. Or you can do it and have one-on-one business and strategy coaching. And you can also do like a lot of other women do, and you have my team completely set it up for you. So you get to decide. Now, if you're already trained, then you just need to get this setup stuff. Okay, you have to do that. You have to get that done to officially move into the planning season. So remember, that was your insurance, your bank account, setting up Stripe, all of that stuff, okay? And then once you get into that planning season, this is where that thriving business comes from, okay? So you're going to have three pieces of homework. Number one, nail your who. If I were to call you on the phone, I want to know exactly who you are working with, okay? This is hard. Many of my students don't want to commit. They don't want to say, I'm only working with adults or I'm only working with children. Now, this doesn't mean that you are married to that. That doesn't mean that you can't see outliers. What it means is it's going to make your marketing easier. Okay. So some of my students know that they absolutely don't really want to work with children. So that's perfect. Then we know that they're marketing to adults. And then I do have several students who know that they specifically want to specialize in a pediatric type of practice. Beautiful. We want to know that. That's part of nailing your who. Now, I will tell you this, if you are absolutely 150% against me on nailing your, niching in, which in today's business climate, you have to, I feel very strongly that you need to do that. But if you're going to argue me on it, my next recommendation would be then if you're saying, hey, I want to just help everybody with a a pulse, I would encourage you to have a small segment, not just all myofunctional therapy, but your specialty might be those that have ADHD or those who have diagnosed sleep apnea or upper airway resistance syndrome. So you can't be everything to everybody and you can't know everything. So you want to develop your expertise, your trustworthiness, to develop yourself as an authoritative figure in the field of myofunctional therapy. You want your knowledge to be an inch wide and a mile deep. You don't want to be the jack of all trades that knows a little bit about everything, okay? So that's just food for thought. So number one, you're going to nail your who. Number two, create your irresistible offer. What's going to make you different? This is not just about setting your price, okay? If you have been with me for any amount of time, you know that you can't build a long lasting, thriving business on per session. You got to have some sort of a package. You have to create some sort of unique myofunctional experience, or I encourage you to, okay? I'm not saying you can't, it's just going to be really hard, and the success might take a long time to get there. That's a conversation for another day, but figure out what your prices are, okay? Make your unique myofunctional experience be so unique to you, what makes you different, okay? That's your whole container, that's the whole experience. And then the third thing for your homework you're going to do is work on your marketing plan, okay? Start simple with something that you can do consistently. This is important because the Google wizards are going to reward your business with organic growth if you are consistent. And if you aren't, then they're going to be of the opinion that you're not very helpful and they're not going to serve you up to people who are searching what you have to offer. Okay. So there is your homework. I've given you your action items. So go get started. If you need support or feel like you want to be my next understudy, if you will, then by all means book your unstuck call so we can get you enrolled. And more importantly, my friend, until I'm back next time, thank you for letting me be part of building a life that you are bonkers about. I'll be back soon, my friend. I hope you loved today's episode, friend. I pray that it lifted you up, motivated you, and taught you something. If so, would you stop right now and go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review? And lastly, make sure you've joined the Profitable Myofunctional Therapist Facebook community. Links to all the goodies can be found wherever you're listening to this podcast. That's it for now. Cheering you on, my friend, and we'll chat soon.